Before I begin with this narration of this video, I want to say that the author of this story, who did the Paw Patrol story Lockdown and the next one, Biofreeze, apparently took his own life on the 22nd of January this year. It's really unfortunate that he took his own life, so I'm reading this one as a dedication to him. So with that being said, to the author, I am feeling sorry for what you went through, and I hope that you're living in a better place. Anyways, let's begin. I said don't splash me. Rocky's irritated bark was only met with laughter as the mixed breed shook the water himself off in a nearby lake. A chocolate lab was giggling uncontrollably. Simple math, Rocky, Zuma laughed. You were funny when you got mad. A day at the trip lake was anyone needed to take off their mind of the afternoon. Taking a break and resting under nature's waters was a great way to relax. Not to mention the Paw Patrol had been craving a vacation day for weeks. Usually they would go on to a beach to relax, as Adventure Bay was on the island. Today was special case, however, as a forest had been discovered by a small distance from the lookout, and within the crystal blue lake, Rocky was being his usual self, his hydrophobia confining him to take the lake's edge. There was no sand to play in, so Rocky entertained himself by looking for bugs. Sky, the blonde cockapoo pup, had also stayed out of the water, due to not any dislike of swimming, but however simply because she was feeling under the weather and didn't want to exert herself. Zuma and Rubble were vigorously enjoying themselves in the water, and while Rubble, a bulldog, was relatively slow swimmer, he was greatly entertained by the water guns. Chase, the German shepherd of the team, was lying near the edge, half submerged in the water. It almost looked like he was sleeping, but every few moments he opened his eyes when Marshall called out to him to watch a new trick. Marshall, the one Dalmatian, was an energetic pup, a bit clumsy at times. It was all well-rounded team of 6, each dog bearing a special skill to assist Adventure Bay in its emergency needs. Today, however, they were on the well-deserved vacation. Zuma, I swear! Rocky barked again. Huh? Who? Zuma asked, looking around unknowingly. I think that was the wind. Chase could be heard snickering under his breath. Zuma, cut it out, honestly, called Ryder. Stop splashing him. You know he hates that. Ryder was in the glue that held the team together. The boy had led the dogs on their missions and was responsible for bringing them together. Without him, the team lacked any direction, and it would surely fall apart. Sorry, Zuma chuckled sheepishly. I'll splash Chase instead. The German shepherd's eyes suddenly shot open. Wait, what? Everyone that enjoyed entertaining the display of Chase struggling to swim free of Zuma's waves. No matter what, Zuma's one mastered skill always lay within the water. He was a sea dog of the team and loved every minute of his job, even if he wasn't called by any missions. It was a wonder how Rocky and Zuma got along, as it seemed that they hated each other to the core. No matter what their trifles, the team knew the one each other had always had of each other's backs. Ooh, splash me! Rubble bounced in the water. I don't think that would be Zuma turned. Zuma was never really able to get his speech impairment taken care of, leaving him slurring with his R's. For some reason that included both him being insecure over it, and also feeling that there were more important things that needed his attention. Even then, many offered to help him with his speech, only to be met with the polite decline. Why not? I don't think you'll be able to escape me at all. Yes, splash Rubble. Go for him, Chase pleaded. Big German shepherd afraid of the water? Marshall smirked. No, I'm afraid of what could be in this lake. Disease and stuff. Rocky rolled his eyes. Ironic, considering we go to the beach all the time, and everyone knows that the water is far from clean. What do you know about clean trash, boy? Marshall laughed. Chase shot Marshall a look, surprised at his change of tone. It's recycling, the mixed breed shot back. It's one of the cleanest, most efficient ways to clean up the earth. Oh, sure, the Dalmatian grinned. Forget hiding one of those cure of cancer. Let's all recycle. Marshall, Ryder called. Seriously, what is up with you all? Play's nice. The bickering eventually died down, leaving Rocky with an irritated look, only for instantly to die away as he found himself a millipede under the rock. Marshall swam back over and settled down next to Chase, who was still looking at him oddly. Sky watched the whole ordeal, and if she hadn't been sick, she'd probably jump in to break them up. Where did that come from? What? The trash boy. It's not like to put insults in pups' faces. Hey, I wanted to get in on the fun. Marshall held up his paws. Defensively, I never really get a word in around here most of the time. Okay, well, Chase shrugged. You could tone it down next time? All right, Chase. Every once in a while, Chase appreciated Marshall's obedience when it came to following orders. The Dalmatian didn't stray out of line too often, but it was good enough that at least listened to leadership. Unlike Zuma, if the pups had minor disagreements, they rarely fought, and Ryder would eventually taught them to apologize, forgive, and forget. That didn't mean some pups would need a little space. However, even though Rocky wasn't mad at this insult flung in his face, he found himself wandering off. Hey, Ryder, he called out to his gray shoulder. Can I go explore on the trail we came on? Go ahead, the boy waved. Just be careful and be back soon. The mixed breed happily pushed himself through the shrubbery as the dogs behind him simply shrugged. Rocky always enjoyed a moment alone, and he always smiled as he traversed around the nature's path. Being the only size of a puppy, the thick foliage felt like an entire jungle, when to Ryder it was merely ground plants. Nevertheless, the mixed breed put his nose to the ground and sniffed for anything interesting. A large number of scents hit him at once. The cool scent of the dirt and the aromas of beautiful flowers in yellow and white. Being a recycle pup, Rocky found this hobby of collecting objects he could tinker with, and possibly make it into something new. As he walked further down the path, his nose suddenly carried him into the dense foliage on his left, dividing him from the path. Rocky was hesitant, but curiosity overcame him, and he pushed his way in. Pushing through the blockades of leaves and twigs, he found himself in a new clearing. "Oh!" the mixed breed said out loud, looking around for any twigs or litter. He then stopped when he came across what looked like a small radio. "Score!" he cheered to himself, picking up the small object in his hands. "Drop it!" came a cold voice behind him. Startled, Rocky froze and let the radio drop from his mouth. Confused, he tried to turn around. "Don't move," the voice commanded, and Rocky fell face forward. His unease oozed within the pup. He heard the dog start walking over to his view, flicking his eyes to his left. Rocky saw the speaker and immediately his fear rose. The dog was almost twice as Rocky's size. He was unable to tell the dog's species, as he was dressed in head to paw with tactical gear. A gray bodysuit could be seen under his black vest, and pieces of armor dotted his body. Its head was covered by a ski mask, with goggles over the eyes. The only parts of the dog that stuck out were his ears and tail, which were blonde in color. On its back what seemed to be a pup pack, only bigger and more slimmed down. Rocky felt slight panic when he saw a nightstick and a taser attached to it. "What are you doing here?" the trooper barked, taking a firm stance. "I just," Rocky muttered, his voice quivering, "wanted to look for bugs." "This area is being quarantined by the ACG. No outside personnel is allowed in or out." "Why?" the mixed breed asked. "Did something happen?" "That is none of your business," the trooper growled, staring Rocky down through his goggles. "Now clear out before I have a reason to detain you." "Can I move?" "Yes, go." With a shaky breath, Rocky backed up and quickly ran away, his eyes beginning to swell up. For a moment he generally feared for his safety and sprinted as fast as he could back to Ryder, barely noticing the tears coming down. The trooper watched the pup go with an irritated look, then picked up the radio and clicked it on. "Cyrus, we had a small breach, but it's contained now. Some lost puppy wandered in. They weren't in contact with the biosite, so we should be okay." Meanwhile, many heads turned to Rocky as he came streaming back, nearly falling to the lake itself. Ryder caught the terrified pup with open arms and tried to comfort him. Chase and Zuma instantly came out from the water, their eyes filled with concern. Sky picked up her head from her resting spot and hastily walked over, paying no attention to her sickness. Rubble swam up to the edge of the lake and watched with surprised eyes. Marshall walked out behind Chase, then stopped as he noticed something tickling in the back of his leg. He turned his head around and lifted his white spotted leg and noticed there was something attached to it. It resembled a worm some kind, pale in pink color. Startled, Marshall nearly kicked off the worm, and it flew back into the water. The Dalmatian gagged, but quickly shook himself off and went to Rocky's aid, reminding himself to take a bath later. The pup soon went home, Ryder carrying Rocky. As they left, Chase turned back to look at the lake, narrowing his eyes. For a brief moment he swore he saw something move in the foliage. He sniffed the air for a moment, only for Ryder to call him. With one final look, Chase turned and joined back with the team.
What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, stay pretty.